What's up, YouTube? This is Casey coming back at you guys for another online video vlog. So today I wanted to talk to you guys about the importance of making sure that your money is in a interest-bearing account, checkings account, whether that be checkings or whether that be a savings account. It's important that your money is generating money for a number of reasons. Now, I know a lot of you guys may be familiar with your brick and mortar banks, such as the Wells Fargo's, the Bank of America's, even your credit unions like a Navy Federal, USAA, things like that. But I don't know how many of you are actually aware of online savings account options or online checkings options. Now, one of the reasons that you want to actually do an online checkings or online savings account option is because you get a much higher interest rate. Now, there are some banks that are brick and mortar that do offer you a higher savings rate, but traditionally you're going to get more of that and less fees dealing with the online banks than you will a brick and mortar. So today I want to talk to you guys about the importance, and I should say also some of the differences with the brick and mortars and what you're getting and what you're trading off with the online banks with what you're getting and what you're trading off. So if you take a look right now, one of the main benefits as you guys can see is is like I've already reiterated is your interest rate. If you have an account with, say, like a Wealthfront, they're giving you 2.5% interest rate. Now that's more of an actual of investment bank, if you will, than more of a savings bank. But they do have a cash account that offers you 2.57%. Um, if you take a look, you have Citibank that offers you 2.36%. You have HSBC that offers you 2.3 percent. You have USA Alliance Credit Union that offers you 2.25%. You have a lot of options that are getting a regular rate, excuse me, that are getting a much higher rate than if you were to actually go with a regular bank. And to just give you a comparison, if you take a look, oh, oops, try that again. Do take a look. This is what Wells Fargo gives you, and not to pick on Wells Fargo, I actually bank with them, and I think they're a good bank. But from an interest rate standpoint, you're getting a whopping 0.1% APY. Oh, and by the way, you have to put $25 minimum in it. I mean, what's the point, right? I mean, even if you had $100 million, who cares at that point? Whereas if you're banking with a high rate savings account, you get 2.2%. Now, what does that translate to exactly? All right, I think that's kind of the next question you want to ask yourself. Well, if you take a look at if you take a look and let's go and do an API calculator and let's see what the numbers look like, right? Let's go to Discover. I actually bank with Discover and I think they're a good bank. Actually, I think they're more than a good bank, but that's for another video. Okay, as this comes up, all right, it's coming somewhere. I don't know. Maybe the site's having issues right now. I don't know. But what you'll notice is that if you put in, let's say, like approximately, $5,000. Oh, there we go. Okay. So if you put in, okay, so Discover right now, their online savings account gives you 2.1%. Okay, and they even give you the example. If you put in, if you have $15,000, and let's just drop it down to five. Let's just, not one five, five. Let's just say 5,000. That's $105 you're gonna get for the end of the year. You're looking at the Chase savings account, you get a grand total of 50 cents. You look at Citibank, you get a grand total of $2, and Bank of America, $1.50. Now, what you guys have to understand is that there's something, and I'm sure a lot of you guys, if you're looking at this video, you know this. There's something called inflation. Right? It's just where the cost of the goods to go up and the devaluation of the dollar and of your spending power goes down, and that occurs on average 1.5–2% a year. So what that means is that if you're drawing 0.01% of your money. If you have $5,000 sitting in an account, or 2,000 or $1,000, whatever it is, $500. Okay, if you have that money sitting in a regular checkings or savings account, you're actually going to be losing money. Now you don't actually know that because by the end of the year you just see the money sitting there, but the cost of everything around you your purchasing power has actually decreased. Inflation's it's a beast, and that's something I'll talk about in a later video. But just for the simplicity factor of this topic, you don't want your money sitting in a non-interest bearing account. You just don't ever want that. I do understand that there are a lot of people who are very risk averse, who don't necessarily have the funds to do a lot of investing or aggressive investing, or don't know what to put their money into. But if you want to just put your money into a nice, safe account to where you're going to generate money more so than what you would with like a Wells Fargo or Chase or a Bank of America, then you definitely want to put it into some kind of what they call a high yield interest bearing account. I mean, you can clearly see the difference here, right? And then let's just say if you're like, hey, I'm going to put 15 in this, uh, you know, let's put 15 in this, 315 bucks, right? You divide that over, 12, and it's going to probably be about, I don't know, $26, something like that. I don't really know, but it's give or take, that's what you'd be getting a month just for having your money sitting in there. Whereas you'd be collecting like a grand total of, I don't know, 30 cents, right? I mean that's a huge, huge difference, and that's just for doing nothing. It's not investing. You're not at risk for losing your money. The banks isn't typically usually going to go under. Um, it's actually really foolish to not have your money sitting in a high interest account. It's just absolutely foolish. There's no excuse for it. Period. Not to mention, um, you know, if you take a look, I do know that there's some people who are like, well, I do want the convenience of having a brick and mortar bank. So, online banks are not going to work for everyone, right? You can take a look here. There's a site that kind of goes over the differences between the online and the traditionals, and without even going through the whole site, I think the trade-offs are kind of obvious, right? I mean, the online savings accounts, without a doubt, pay you a lot more interest rates. That's not even an option, not even a discussion. Does 2% really make a difference? You're damn right it does. It makes quite a bit of a difference actually. If for no better reason than just to know that your money is sitting and generating interest for doing nothing. Somebody says, "Hey, I'm gonna give you $150." I'd be like, "Okay, where is it?" Like, yeah, it's very, very, it's almost a no-brainer. Now, one of the things that I know some people are going to, kind of doubling back. One of the things I know people are going to want to say is, well, I'm going to need a brick and mortar bank. So, what are my options with that? Well, you do have some brick and mortar banks that will give you a slightly higher interest rate, but you have to really, really look for those banks. Okay, so if you take a look, let's take a look here. One of those banks I just saw was, I believe it was HSBC. Let me take a look. I believe HSBC is one of those banks. I believe also PNC Savings is also one of those banks. If you take a look, I believe they give you somewhere around. Let's take a look. All right, since we can get through all the ads, thank you, Google, for the ads that we so desperately love to see every day on our searches. Okay, so PNC gives you a 2.35% annual percentage yield, which is actually pretty good. So to think that you can actually bank with a brick and mortar bank and have this annual percentage yield is actually pretty awesome. A lot of banks don't offer this. Um, just to get this out of the way, this is not a advertisement for PNC. I'm not being compensated, and I don't bank with PNC. I just pulled them up as an option, just simply because when I did some research for the brick and mortar banks, it did actually give you a respectable rate for people who wanted to have the peace of mind for brick and mortar. That was one of them. So, you get the virtual wallet as well. So that way you can go into the primary checking account, you do the short-term savings account, you get all of that stuff all built into one. So, the gist of the video is just pretty much I don't care who you bank with. If you want to go with, say, a PNC, that's great. If you guys are curious who I bank with, actually, I have an account with Discover. I have a savings account with Discover because I think they have the best customer service of any bank in the whole country, and I'm not joking. It is top, 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 top notch. And again, that is not being endorsed by Discover. That is just a personal opinion. They have the best service, period. It's American based. It's American based. I've never, in my years of, I think I've banked with them for 8 years, for my credit card, my on my savings account that I just recently opened up. I've never waited to hold for more than a minute. Doesn't matter what you ask them. I mean, it's just top-notch service. So I bank with them. I think they were giving me 2.1%. You also have other options such as Ally Bank. There have been mixed reviews. Oh, not Sally, Ally. Um, there've been mixed reviews about Ally Bank, but if you take a look at their rates, they give you 2.5%, right? Oh, here's another one. Oh, I'm sorry, these are CDs. Scratch that. Uh, let's go to the savings. It's somewhere around there. It's probably 2.15, 2.2, or something like that. The Fed they just kept their rate the same, and they're anticipating a rate cut in July. So Allies just recently, I think a few days ago, said that they were lowering the rate. Yeah, so it's 2.10%, but still, it's a hell of a lot better than the 0.01% that you'd be getting with a typical traditional brick and mortar bank. So pretty much the gist of the video is just whatever you do, make sure that your money is sitting in a high yield savings account or high yield checking account. There's no excuse whatsoever, whether you're banking, whether you cut checks, whether you need to go into a brick and mortar, whether you just like seeing what accounts can give you different rates. To have your money sitting into a regular checking account, just period. So if you have 10, 20, 30, 40,000, 5,000, $500, it doesn't matter, and it's sitting in a savings account generating 0.01% interest, you need to get all that money transferred out tomorrow. It's just that simple. So hopefully this is a beneficial video to you guys. Hopefully I was able to give you some kind of basic information to kind of let you know exactly why I think savings accounts or online savings accounts are going to be um, very beneficial for you. Yeah, and let me know what you guys think. So leave your likes, comments, questions, stuff like that below. Also, please leave comments on any kind of other videos that you guys would like me to discuss, whether that be a review on a company, whether that be a review on a particular investment account, or if you guys are trying to get some information on um, a particular term or financial, just anything that you aren't quite clear on that you'd like to get some research done on, please leave those comments down and below. I will review those, and the ones that have the most requests, I would do a video review on, and we will go from there. So thanks again for watching. Please hit the like button and please hit the subscribe button. I will be submitting a lot more videos from the financial investment side, things they're talking about, mortgages, home loans, things of that nature, interest rates, APYs, what they exactly mean, um, you know, all the boring stuff that actually affects people's financial outlooks and things like that. So thanks again. Thanks for tuning in, and talk to you later.